I'm honored to join you this evening and to salute the leadership of the Asia Society and the College Board for convening this conversation on learning Chinese and thinking globally. Last week, I met with Ambassador Huntsman, our ambassador to China, and I'm sure you will all agree that we will not find a more energetic or forceful advocate for this cause. He and I spent a good deal of our meeting focused precisely on this evening's topic, promoting Chinese language skills in the United States and enhancing people-to-people ties between the U.S. and China. By coming together here, we have heeded the call of President Barack Obama, America's first president born and raised in the Pacific, to, in his words, move the world in a whole new direction. As the President observed in his 2009 address to the UN General Assembly, and I quote, "We must embrace a new era of engagement based on mutual interests and mutual respect, and our work must begin now." This gathering carries forth this vision as we join together to build new bridges of understanding and partnership between the United States and China. As the President has stated, power is not a zero-sum game. There is no reason to assume that a rising China poses a threat to the United States or that China's emergence represents a diminution of American leadership. Rather, I believe we should see China's growing wealth and prominence as an opportunity for our nation to forge a new and fruitful global partnership. We all recognize that the security and prosperity of the United States and China, and I believe the world as a whole, will depend on the extent to which our two great nations find common ground. We have to reach agreement on practical ways of working together on the urgent issues that confront our nations and all nations, from climate change to nuclear nonproliferation, from global financial stability to human rights. To create the conditions for a fuller partnership, we must expand people-to-people ties between our two nations. Promoting greater Chinese language skills in the United States is vital to achieving this goal. By now, there should be little debate that the relationship between the United States and China is and will remain one of the central bilateral relationships of the 21st century. Journalist and commentator, and my friend Tom Friedman, famously observed that the world is increasingly flat. Modern travel and communications technologies have made distance almost irrelevant to the diffusion of ideas and opportunities. By the same token, these advances have also lowered geographical defenses against disruption and contagion, whether financial, environmental, or medical. Today, no nation is an island. Those who would ignore this fact are destined, I believe, for decline and irrelevance. The future belongs to those individuals and countries that open to the world and equip themselves with the skills and mindsets that a flat Earth demands for success. Paramount among these skills are fluency in foreign languages and understanding of foreign cultures. The United States and China cannot hope to build a rich network of non-official personal and institutional relationships we need for a productive partnership if we can't understand what each other is saying or the historical and social background to our words. Rarely in history have two nations of such dissimilar backgrounds shared the center of the world stage. Never have two great powers been obligated to work together on such a broad spectrum of issues. But as the well-known proverb observes, even if we share the same bed, our relationship can never flourish if we persist in different dreams. To be able to dream and work together, more Americans must speak Chinese and know the Chinese people. More Chinese must speak English and have personal relationships with Americans. We must broaden and deepen the circle of citizens in both countries personally involved in each other's lives, and by extension, in our bilateral relationship. This means going where too few exchanges have gone before, beyond government officials, business people, academics, and other elites. This means weaving webs of people-to-people ties that extend beyond Washington and New York or Beijing and Shanghai. This means bringing all sectors of our great and diverse peoples into the equation across social and geographic boundaries within our two countries. There is no better way to build collaborative networks that can withstand the inevitable ups and downs in government-to-government relations in any bilateral relationship. We must ensure that when disagreements arise, as they inevitably will between two countries whose relationships span so many critical issues, that the relationship is deeply rooted enough for dialogue and collaboration in other areas to continue. To this end, the State Department is committed to fostering bilateral and global networks of communication and cooperation as a fundamental part of what Secretary Clinton has called smart power. As the Secretary has said, and I quote, "Partnerships with people play a critical role in our 21st century statecraft." During his November 2009 visit to Shanghai, as you heard earlier, President Obama announced the ambitious goal of sending 100,000 American students to China over the next 4 years. The State Department has an important role in this initiative. We will connect private sector donors and educational institutions, provide guidance on new programs, create outreach events, and work with Chinese officials and institutions to realize President Obama's vision. We have our work cut out for us, but we also have a good head start. China has become the first choice outside of Western Europe for Americans studying abroad. And through our exchange programs, the State Department is already supporting more American students to study in China than in any other country in the world. We are undertaking this effort at all levels, from our high schools to our graduate schools, and we are looking for ways to expand our programs to students in elementary schools across the country as well. The U.S.-China Fulbright program, for example, is one of the largest in the world, with funding from both governments supporting 75 American graduate students and scholars to study, teach, and conduct research in China, and over 100 Chinese students and scholars to do the same in the United States each year. We are committed to promoting the study of critical languages such as Mandarin Chinese at the high school and university levels. Overseas, Mandarin language programs for high school students have grown from one summer program for 20 participants in 2006 to more than a dozen programs of varying duration for some 260 participants next year. Among the 7 languages of our language programming, Mandarin Chinese is by far the most popular language under the high school program. The State Department's programs manifest the importance we place on strengthening bilateral relationship and the capacity of America and Americans to thrive in the interconnected world of the 21st century through language study and exchange. We recognize that the time when we could leave the management of foreign relations to the diplomats is long past. While we in government can lead and convene and even cajole, we can't do it all. Thus, we count on your continuing commitment and energy, ideas, and yes, money, to build the bridges we need across the Pacific if the United States, China, and the world are to prosper in the years to come. I want to personally thank you for all you are doing, and we look forward to working with you to find new and innovative ways to expand and strengthen this critical relationship. I believe, and I believe everyone in this room agrees with me, that our future, the future of our children, and frankly, the future of the world depends on it. Thank you very much.